10 things wrestling fans should know about Abdullah the Butcher. 10. Debuted as a teenager. Born in Windsor, Ontario, Canada in 1941, Lawrence Shreve grew up studying judo and karate and was discovered by wrestling promoter Jack Britton. The future Abdullah the Butcher worked all over Canada under a variety of gimmicks before developing the gimmick that would make him an icon in the sport. Abbey established his in-ring reputation with a ridiculous act of violence, severely beating Britton's son Gino Brito with a broken chair leg. 9. A special attraction wrestler. Billed at 400 pounds and with several gigantic scars on top of his head, Abdullah the Butcher was an intense sight to behold, especially once the bloodshed began. But the Butcher couldn't be said to have made any particular promotion his home, even though he was able to capture countless titles in his career. Abdullah the Butcher was a traveling, special attraction, kind of wrestler not unlike Andre the Giant, who'd show up in a territory to take on the crowd favorites for a spell, increase ticket sales, and then move on to the next promotion. 8. Armed with a fork. He was famous for pulling out that basic piece of cutlery and shredding his opponents' foreheads. A tendency so iconic that if one Googles wrestler who uses a fork, the result yields about Abdullah the Butcher. 7. Wrestled for All Japan Pro Wrestling. Abdullah the Butcher was a regular presence in All Japan Pro Wrestling from 1972 to 2008. In AJPW, Abbey was able to beat Billy Robinson for the PWF heavyweight title and won the annual Champion Carnival tournament on 2 occasions. He also had a couple of acclaimed matches teaming with the original Sheik against Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk. 6. Rivalry with Bruiser Brody. One of their earliest meetings was in the 1981 AJPW Champion Carnival tournament, but Brody and Butcher most often clashed in the West. In Texas for World Class Championship Wrestling and in Puerto Rico for Colin's World Wrestling Council. Most of their matches ended in double disqualifications and other types of draws. Their aim was to deliver a wild brawl that spilled out all over the arena. 5. Wrestled at several Starrcades. Abbey worked for Jim Crockett Promotions, which would later become WCW, at 3 iterations of the legendary Starrcade event. Taking on Carlos Colon in 1983, fighting Manny Fernandez in a bloody sombrero on a pole match in 1985, and competing alongside Sting in the Lethal Lottery Tournament in 1991. 4. Wrestled in the Chamber of Horrors match. Abdullah the Butcher's 1991 run with WCW was actually part of a feud between Cactus Jack and the aforementioned Sting. Cactus introduced the Butcher by having him surprise attack Sting while hiding in a comically large gift-wrapped box for Sting's birthday, leading to the infamous 4-on-4 Chamber of Horrors match at Halloween Havoc, 91. Despite the wild gimmick where the winner is the one who fries his opponent in an electric chair, the bout was not well received and ended with Cactus Jack accidentally throwing the switch on Abdullah the Butcher, his own teammate. 3. Owned his own restaurant. Before it sadly closed in 2017, Abdullah the Butcher's House of Ribs and Chinese food offered a huge menu of ribs, Chinese food, soul food, wings, and fish stuff to diners in the Atlanta area in a restaurant decorated with wrestling memorabilia and paintings of Abbey himself. 2. Sued over hepatitis C. Unfortunately, Abdullah the Butcher's bloodletting, both his and that of his opponents, had some rough consequences. As wrestler Devin Nicholson, aka Hannibal, sued the Butcher, accusing him of giving Nicholson hepatitis C after some non-consensual blading. The courts ruled in Nicholson's favor, requiring Abdullah the Butcher to pay $2.3 million in damages, and the incident made the legend even more controversial. 1. A controversial Hall of Fame pick. In 2011, despite never wrestling for the promotion, WWE inducted the Butcher into its Hall of Fame, which drew criticism from another Hall of Famer, former WWE Champion superstar Billy Graham. Graham referred to Abdullah the Butcher as a bloodthirsty animal, and WWE as a shameless organization. Demanded to be removed from the WWE Hall of Fame, in which Graham himself was inducted in 2004.